My name is Melissa Moon, and I'm here to talk to you about something called Evolutionary Personal Care. So, I am a owner and operator of Moon Healing Studio in Northern California, and what I teach my practice members, I have personally experienced myself. So, when it comes down to our body's ability to heal, we can utilize free, easy to use methods to make lasting change happen from the inside out. Evolutionary personal care for me is the system of choice for my own personal self-care, and it's what I teach others so that they feel empowered around how life is showing up and how well they can connect into their body. So it's a system that blends the power of breath and focus and touch and movement. So all these pieces that come together, creating a holistic platform that activates the nervous system, which then supports deep healing and also conscious growth, because those things go hand in hand. We are going to, when you move through deep healing work, you're also going to be in that personal growth and personal development path as well. And what's really cool is, yes, we know breath work is helpful for a variety of things, but it's like, why? Why does it work? And for me, I love to know the why. So this is where science and spirit come together, where the transformation becomes an actual lived, embodied reality. We have to live it. We have to move it through the system to really understand what it means to be connected with ease, to maybe be disconnected, to be polarized. And we can experience all these things in our body, and EPC is the perfect way to understand what that is. And so our nervous system responds to how we breathe, where we place our focus, and then the sensations we feel through touch and the way that we move. So EPC is easy to learn, which I love about it the most. It's actually a really gentle breathwork practice in the first beginning stages, and then we can get a little more animated, a little bit more deep in it when it comes to that conscious breathwork piece. But what's cool about it is that it instantaneously changes your experience of life. And so when a person develops these skills to change their state of consciousness, it actually gives us an incredible advantage in life. Our nervous system responds to how we breathe, where we place our focus, and the sensations we feel through touch and the ways that we move. Now, what's really cool is that this isn't just some random thing that happens. This is actually creating effectiveness and efficiency and a preciseness within the neurological system, within the body. So these tools are carefully woven together to create this systematic input that's going to stimulate the brain and the body into new states of awareness. So every time you move into a session of EPC, it becomes a conversation with your nervous system, finding out where you are in that moment for that day. Maybe things have changed. Maybe in a place where you are definitely connected, that's not the same experience you're having 2 weeks from now. And so what happens is that as you continue this conversation in the body, it's going to help anchor you into those spaces that you can be safe, where you can feel that growth, and then you can feel that opportunity to heal. Because when we can find our body and feel the body, then we can pay attention and take the necessary actions to heal, evolve, grow, and change. Which is just all very exciting. I think we feel so disempowered, or we're always looking for things outside of us to fix us, to give us the answers. And the truth is that our bodies hold the key. Our bodies are the answer. We have what we call a body's wisdom. We can talk about it as intuition. We can talk about it as a gut knowing. But the more we can turn the volume up on that internal message relayer, the better and more efficiently we can run our lives and run our bodies, because then we can say, what is it that we need? And so what is evolutionary personal care? Evolutionary personal care is a systematic platform for growth and healing. You know, when we repeatedly offer intentional input to the body through breath patterns, through focus connection, through somatic movement and gentle touch, we begin to activate new neural pathways. And in care, we call this entrainment. In neurology, it's called neuronal entrainment. And essentially, the brain is learning to fire differently. We're learning to fire more efficiently, more harmoniously. Over time, we're experiencing life, and so we're creating certain patterns, whether out of rest, digest, and heal, or fight or flight. And so over time, we just develop and gather so much information. It's like, well, what is it that we need? You know, if we live in our house and we never do the dishes, or we never do laundry, or we never sweep the floor, like, the clutter starts to get in the way. And so what can happen if we take that time, clean everything out, get rid of the things that we don't need, but keep things that are really important or that we do want within this housing of our body. And so the old, outdated patterns, they begin to fall away. You know, that's ideal. It's like we go through this life and we're like, well, what serves me, what doesn't serve me? When we can create more clarity within the body, which using evolutionary personal care is excellent at, we allow ourselves to see things more clearly. And so if we talk about this idea of neuronal entrainment, it means that the groups of neurons, what we call neuronal pools, they actually begin to synchronize. They fire together in new, more integrated ways. And, you know, this isn't something that is just theoretical. It's actually observable. And it's observable when I watch my practice members and people I work with, they begin to feel it. There's a shift in the system. There's more calm. There's a greater sense of clarity. And ultimately, there's more presence in the body. And we start to anchor into what works. And so this system begins to self-correct. And because it has new options, there's new patterns. You know, we don't get rid of old patterns, but we can overwrite them. We can write new ones. And so as the neural network becomes more efficient, the brain then no longer uses and wastes energy cycling through stress responses or looping old like trauma patterns or imprints. You know, it's that whole experience of like, well, the adult conscious part of you is having an experience, right? In our brains, it's like, I know there's no threat. There shouldn't be any reason why I'm like moving into fight or flight or that sympathetic response. But at the same time, the body is going there. So it's like, wow, why is the body going there? So with EPC, we start to create something that's a bit more streamlined. Your body becomes more present. Your mind and your focus becomes more present. And this efficiency gives rise to clarity, right? We see clarity in thoughts and emotions and even perceptions of self. You know, it seems like so many people want clarity, need clarity. What are the right next steps? What do I need moving forward? And so people begin to perceive life differently, and not because life has necessarily changed, but because their nervous system is actually no longer stuck in defense. So with that, they are now in creation. How are we co-creating? And with that creation, and when we gain clarity, we actually start to make just better decisions in life. You know, decisions that are in alignment with who it is you truly are. not who it is we were in survival mode. You know, we all tend to have a grander version and vision of who it is we are. So how is it that you are going to step forward into that person, into that version? And so as you step into that version, it's about taking action that's congruent with your values, your inner knowing, and that desired future you wish to call in. You know, and this is where the magic happens. You know, it's not necessarily in the breath itself, but it's in the clarity and the congruence that follows. And so we know that there are benefits of a breathwork practice. It reduces stress and anxiety, increases energy, lowers blood pressure and improves circulation, helps to manage pain, and so on. Our science is catching up to this ancient wisdom and like technology that we have, which is breath, and using breath as a healing modality. And so if you are feeling stuck or disconnected, foggy, overwhelmed, pick something, you know this, your nervous system holds the key. Through this systematic platform of breath, focus, touch, and movement, you can rewire your internal world. And from that place, the external world begins to reflect your healing. Think about that. If you change how it is you are inside, if your internal world changes, then you can witness your external world changes because it's you pushed out. And the truth is, the body is always ready to heal. That's its natural state. That's where it wants to continue to move into. And when we just need to give it, when we give it the right input, then everything changes. And that's one of the beautiful things that I love about evolutionary personal care. And if it's something that you would love to explore further with, I'm going to leave a link below. You can access Learn EPC through my studio here at Moon Healing Studio in Northern California. I have a great 9-part video series, and if you'd love to connect with me, I'll leave all my socials, and we can keep the healing conversation going.